Hey guys, this is Kevin with Tech Dragons, and I'm bringing you the review of my PS Vita. Let me go back over some of the components of the Vita. On the front, of course, as you all probably know, is the gorgeous 5-inch OLED touchscreen. This touchscreen is a fingerprint magnet. I just cleaned it, played a game or so, and you can already see the fingerprints that are on the screen. The entire device is pretty much a fingerprint magnet, so if you're someone who likes to keep your device clean, then you are going to go crazy with this one. Over here on the left-hand side, we have the D-pad along with the first analog stick, and we have one of the two stereo speakers. Over here on the right-hand side, we have the classic PlayStation buttons with the square, triangle, X, and O, and the secondary D-pad, along with select and start. Down here on the bottom, we have the two little rings that you can put a lanyard in. If you wanted to use a lanyard, the device did not come with one. On the bottom, we have the charging port. We also have the headphone jack, and we have the port for the micro SD card. The micro SD card with these, as you probably already know, is a proprietary Sony micro SD card, meaning you will have to buy their micro SD card. It's a bit annoying, a little pricey, but it's what you have to do for it. You will have to have one if you want to play any games on this device. The 4 gig micro SD card that came with mine for free, I got the first edition bundle from Amazon, was not big enough. It was big enough to hold one game, and that was it. I went out last night, however, and I did buy myself the 32 gig micro SD card, and I've been happy with that so far. I've got more than one game on my Vita. On the right hand side, we have nothing on the sides. On the back, I don't think I covered this yesterday, but the entire back section right here, the same size as the screen, so you have a 5-inch back section here, is a back touch panel. That touch panel isn't quite as big of a fingerprint magnet, but it still gets them on there. There's only one game that I have so far that I know uses this, and this Little Deviants. It's not quite as game-changing as I thought it would be. It's fun, it's neat. It's a little annoying sometimes, but other than that, I don't really see many games using this. Up here up top, we have the 640 by 480 rear-facing camera. On either side, you have the Teflon pads. They help a little bit with holding the device. The device is relatively comfortable in your hands. If you have horribly small hands, it might not be, but for me, I have about average size hands. It's pretty comfortable to hold. On the left-hand side, we have simply the slot for the SIM card. I do have the 3G Wi-Fi version with AT&T, so I do have an AT&T pay-as-you-go SIM card in there. On the top of the device, we have the power button over here on the far left-hand side. We have the PS Vita. Let me try to get out of the light a little bit so the camera can focus. We have the PlayStation Vita slot for the new style games. Then we have another port. I'm not sure what that port is for yet. I haven't seen anything. I'm sure it'll be a peripheral or something that Sony comes out with. And then we have the volume up and down buttons. We also have the right paddle button and the left paddle button. Now, as far as it goes, when I first got this device, the first day I opened it up, I had a lot of problems with this. I could not play Little Deviants. It just would not play. It kept coming up and saying the game had performed an error. I did not update the firmware to start with. That was probably my biggest mistake. I was downloading some other stuff at the time, and it was going to take well over an hour to download the update for the Vita. Keep that in mind. If you decide to get one of these, you will not be able to play this right off the bat until probably the second gen versions. The first gen versions do not seem like they fixed any of the issues that they were having. I played around with it, trying to get my game to play, trying to get signed up for AT&T, which the browsing experience on this device is by far the worst I have ever used. I've used many mobile devices of many kinds, and the browsing experience on this one, even with the Qualcomm quad-core processor, was sluggish and horrible. I could not sign up for AT&T, and it frustrated me so bad I probably won't be signing up for AT&T. It just, After doing all of that, after trying to get the game to run, my device locked up. Now, Sony was supposed to have fixed this for release. Obviously, they did not fix this for release. It locked up. I held the power button in for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute. It would never cut itself off. It would never give a sign that the device was even running. After about an hour, I plugged it up, held the power button down for about a minute. Finally, I guess it cut itself off, because when I pressed the power button for the second time, the device finally came back on. It was extremely frustrating. I was ready to throw this device against the wall. Then I went ahead, said screw it, and updated my firmware. After updating my firmware, I've had no issues whatsoever with this device. It has performed remarkably well. So obviously the new firmware Sony pushed out did address these issues. However, keep that in mind, when you get this device for the first time, you might as well not even try playing it. Go ahead and update to firmware 1.60 or whatever version they have out at the time. As frustrating as it is, I know me, I wanted to play Little Deviants when I first got it. I wanted to get into a game, see how it worked, and I could not. It was very frustrating. So, after that, I was able to get into it. Little Deviants was a fun game, not really my type of game. I prefer things that are less mini-game-ish. And that's what Little Deviants is. It's nothing but a lot of mini games. So I went out and I purchased Uncharted Golden Abyss on the market, downloadable content. Got it downloaded. Again, my 4 gig memory card was enough just to hold that game. That game took up the entire 4 gig memory card. So I couldn't put any of my PSP games on there to see how they run. I couldn't do anything else with it. I was able to play Uncharted Golden Abyss, and let me say, the game is beautiful. I know a lot of people complain that they do not like this touchscreen with the game. Whether it's they believe it doesn't need it or whatever. I believe the touchscreen really, really helps this game. It makes it awesome. And it shows off the hardware of the Vita wonderfully. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if we can get my camera to focus. For some reason, this wanting to focus slowly on the Vita. Another thing to note, notice I hit the power button. It takes it a good 1.5 to 2 seconds before the screen actually comes on. It's not really that bad, but for some people that might irritate them. And I'm sorry about the lights that's shining down on me and causing the glare. Let's turn that back on. Now, to open the device, you have this nice little animated paper roll here. We just take it and swipe it away, and here's the classic start screen that I'm sure you're all used to seeing from all the other videos. I have my 3 Vita games here, Little Deviants, Uncharted, and I did buy Super Stardust Delta. If we go down, I have 2 of my PSP games on there. I have Lunar Silver Star Harmony and Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot up Uncharted, let you see how that runs. This is the start screen for most games. This is how most games will start up. I've not seen one not start up this way. You have the same paper roll right here where you can swipe the game away if you don't want to do it anymore. On the side, you'll have areas to go to, in this case, Black Market. I don't know what's in there. I'm sure downloadable content. Some of the other games have news around it, so forth. You have your options up top, and I don't know what this little here is. It just gives me a that I've been playing it pretty much. So I guess that's just notifications for this specific game. In the center is always the start the game option. So we're going to start it. Now, one thing to take note about is the Vita does load the games relatively slow, surprisingly. I expected faster load time since it's loading directly off of a random access card. But it's not as quick as I thought. However, as you'll see, the graphics in the game are beautiful. Hopefully the camera will portray that. I doubt you're going to see that through my Galaxy Nexus's camera. Like I said, it is having a hard time focusing on the Vita. I think it's because the lights are shining down. Let's see if we can skip these intros. Here we go. Uncharted Golden Abyss, touch to start. I am going to continue from where I left off. I'm not going to do anything major, just show you the graphics here. See if I can cover that light. Notice the load times are long. Alright, here we go. Hopefully you can see that good. These graphics are gorgeous. I'll use the right stick here to move around. I can hold it steady with one hand. We switch hands here. Use the left stick to spin around. Let's see if the camera will focus a little bit. There we go. As you can see, the graphics are almost PlayStation 3 quality. They're not quite as sharp as PlayStation 3, but they're close. And this screen, even though the camera is not portraying it, is gorgeous quality and color. Really sharp detail, really great color in it. Remarkable, remarkable screen that's on this, but that's what you get with the OLED screens. Now let's see if I can get the camera to focus in on that. I don't look like my camera wants to focus. But that is Uncharted. I don't want to record too much. Don't want to get caught for copy infringement. So we're going to swipe that away, and we're back to the PlayStation screen. Now, let me say, despite the issues I had, despite the frustrations I had, and the desire to throw this device against the wall, after getting the firmware updated, the device has performed remarkably, and it is an amazing, amazing device. I have loved it ever since I got it to work. It is by far a device that I think could be a game-changing device among the portable game systems if Sony continues in the direction it's going. There's great potential here, but there's also a great chance of failure. As long as Sony continues on their path with good quality games, good updates and so forth to address issues, I think we're looking at a great device that very well may change the industry a little bit, especially with the touch screens, both front and back, you know, the touch elements that's in it. It does do augmented reality stuff. So all in all, a beautiful, beautiful device. And again, it's using that quad-core Qualcomm, so it's extremely fast despite the load times. The device is extremely snappy, great touchscreen, very responsive capacitive touchscreen. Other than that, after updating the firmwares, I have no complaints. If you're planning on getting this device and you have the bills to drop on it, I recommend going ahead and getting it. You will not be disappointed. As long as Sony keeps up with the games, we will be good to go. Again, this has been Kevin with Tech Dragons. I hope you liked the review for the PS Vita. If you want to see some more reviews, just let me know. If you like what you saw today, don't forget to rate and subscribe and leave a comment down there in the comment section and let us know what you thought. Have a good day, and we'll catch you on the next review.